Garrett and Mike. That's what. I moved to Saturday, Friday, this morning, I don't know. And
10:30.
the economy.
Every week.
Not every month. Many weeks, none of it.
Good morning.
Okay. I'm gonna. It's a lot of time. Yes, ma'am. You're gonna be out in the hallway? Yeah. Okay, I'll take it out to you. Today, no. Okay, I'm gonna print it out. Okay. The ones for. The martinis I have. Of the NPR something, the NPR is the ones I have. Okay.
All right, is the door open?
I think it is, are you even, let me double check.
All right, thank you. And Rick, there is a request. All right, thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you pull the request for a travel permit on Ray Villarreal? Yes, there's a request for a travel permit for him.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Rick,
Yes, Your Honor.
can you look at this and see if you have any objections to his traveling?
Yes, Your Honor.
It hasn't been indicted.
Okay.
Well, who are you here for?
Son's case was reset for today.
All right, what's your son's name?
Hernandez.
Abel Hernandez. All right. He's going to be brought out, okay? Good morning. They're going to bring your client out in a moment.
CMO.
No, the CLO is not here. There's another person that's going to be standing in for the CLO. Okay, sure. And I may have that for you because that was on the docket this afternoon. So let me see. And what specific paperwork do you need?
It's Nathan Martinez.
Mhm.
Uh, it's an MTR, so I need to,
The motion to revoke?
right,
All right. Yeah. Can you pull?
and the recommendation.
All right. Yeah. Could you pull the motion to revoke on Nathan Martinez?
I have the first amendment and the original.
All right, thank you. Because the probation officer is out in the.
Have the recommendations.
We'll get that for you shortly. Who are you here for?
Paula Evans.
You're who?
Paula Evans.
Paula Evans? All right, are you on the docket today? Do you know who your attorney is?
Garcia. Garcia.
Is it David Garcia?
Not sure.
All right, just give me a moment and I'll see if we can look you up, okay?
I apologize.
No, no problem. Yes.
Ms. Evans, can you come forward, please? Come forward, I'm sorry. Yes. Are you Paula Jo Evans?
Yes,
Actually, your case is in the 144th District Court. It's not in this.
okay,
So that is on the first floor, second floor. Second floor, perhaps.
thank you, sorry, thank you.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome. Oh, and you can disregard that one. That's the wrong one printed out. This, you can destroy that one. This is the correct one.
No, second row on top. Second row on top. It goes straight.
And I'll make two so that the state will have one. State defense on Nathan Martinez, I'm having the something printed out for each of you. Just make sure you return it back to me after you're done.
I understand.
All right, thank you. And Rick, do you have any recommendations on Ray Villarreal? Yes.
Thank you.
Hi. And Norma, if you can call and email Judith Wimmert.
Yes, ma'am. I did email her yesterday, but I will email her again. Thanks. Yes.
And they're gonna come here?
Yes.
Abel Hernandez. Deputy Laura, did you bring out Abel Hernandez?
If you want to go get some more,
All right.
I brought 5.
Mhm.
Did not one of them.
All right. So if you could have him brought out for me, I need to speak with him.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you.
Nathan Martinez. Oh, and Deputy Laura, could you have Nathan Martinez brought out for Mr. Meadows?
Yes,
They'll bring him out. You're welcome.
Out here, Judge, we have Shannon Patton,
All right, let me go.
Raymond Vale.
Shannon, I don't know why he was added to my docket. Somebody added him. I think he was supposed to be in pre-indictment court, not in this court.
All right, Shannon Patton.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who's your attorney?
Richard Bell.
All right, just have a seat. We're gonna see if we can get him here. Norma, have Raymond Vale come here.
Yes, ma'am.
For yes,
Last night, and then another one.
print out the one for this morning and print out four. Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's there, so. Somebody said it.
All right. Uh,
One of you. Oh, okay. What's up, discovery?
all right, Abel Hernandez. Hi.
I would only object only because we have not had contact with Rick and we cannot verify if she is in McAllen or not. Otherwise, it will be up
You
to.
guys wanna try to call her?
We tried to call her this morning. She didn't answer. We had to leave a voicemail for her. So that's the only reason we just can't verify she's not there. If she had told us she's here, we would be okay.
Okay, so, and he has the no contact order in place with her, so.
Correct.
If he violates it, it's too sad for him.
Sorry. Yes.
All righty. Okay, Mr. Hernandez, have you had any contact with your attorney? I mean, when's the last time you had contact with her?
The last time I came to court.
All right, and other than having contact with her in court, have you had any other contact with her? All right, would you like a different attorney appointed to you?
Yes, please.
All right, so we're gonna get another attorney appointed to you, okay? All right, just have a seat and they'll come in. You're welcome. Norma? On his case?
Replace this.
And Charles said Lindsay should be over shortly.
Over here. Meet him
Yeah, I need
over
to.
here. I'm trying to keep you away from the court.
Thank you. Before 9:30. I told everyone that. All right, the parties on Rebecca Davis. Court is calling 2025 CR 003154 State versus Rebecca Davis. Could I have parties announced for the record?
Okay, for the defendant?
And are you Rebecca? Davis? Just have you seen discovery?
Yes,
Did you review it with your client?
we've gone over it, yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Davis, did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Ms. Davis, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated, third or more? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, she has. She has assisted me.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, she does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Davis, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. State recommends community supervision. They're taking in consideration 2024 PF 28045. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No such motions.
All right, off the record, probation, this is cause number 2025 CR 003154, and it's an application for probation. All right, we're back on the record. Outside the agreement, the state is asking that your punishment be assessed at 8 years in the prison. That your length of probation. See, I'm trying to make sure everybody's awake.
Yeah.
It's shocking everybody's system.
Yeah.
What they're asking for is that your length of probation be 8 years, that there be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, 2-year license suspension, and they're asking that there be 10 days in the Bexar County Jail as a condition of your probation. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
And state, with regards to the 10 days in the Bexar County Jail, would you object to her serving that on GPS?
No objection.
Right. Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
State offers exhibit 1 and attachment.
No objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We'd like to proceed, Your Honor.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Since the date of offense, she has been in a rehab facility. It's now 90 days, and she may be better to explain this facility to you.
All All right, what facility are you in
SOBA, SOBA,
and where is it located?
here in San Antonio.
Okay.
Northeast side, I believe.
All right, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
I did
it's
not know about it, so
amazing.
could you tell the judge about
Yes,
some,
I would love to.
everything that they offer and that it's a lockdown facility?
Yeah, okay, so it's a typically a 60-day program, and the first 30 days is residential, and you are not allowed to leave. You get 4-hour visits on both Saturday and Sunday. We are in class from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m.
Mhm.
They take us to Gold's Gym at 4 p.m. if you would like to go Monday
Well, I
through
need to
Friday.
join that just to
I
get
know,
into.
just to get the gym membership.
Yeah.
They introduce yoga classes. We have yoga twice per week. We have CBT training, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. I have my own individual therapist and my own individual caseworker. Most of the staff are recovering either alcoholics or drug addicts, so they understand. We have an AA meeting every night from 7 to 8, Monday through Sunday. Yes, we are actually breathalyzed twice per day, once in the morning and once in the evening. And then we are UA'd Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's actually sent off to the laboratory as well. And that's typical for your whole stay. Like that's never going to change. After 30 days, you enter a PHP, which is partial hospitalization. I believe they shave off 2 classes, so you have a little bit more free time.
Oh, you know what? Now that you mentioned the hospitalization part of this, I do know about this program because somebody brought someone who actually is over the program to come talk to me about it, but continue.
Okay.
Because I think people should know about this.
Yeah, you enter PHP and like I said, partial hospitalization. They shave off 2 classes, but that's just to have more time to get with your sponsor and go through the steps, that kind of thing. It's very step-based, the whole program. During PHP, you get 2 4-hour passes, one on Saturday and one on Sunday, so you can leave the premises, but they UA you upon re-entry to the facility. And then after the 60 days, you can choose to go into the next 30 days, which is IOP. It's less classes. We only have to attend AA 5 nights per week, but that's when you get a job. The facility actually helps you get to and from work for the whole first month, whether it be Uber or someone taking you. I'm gluten intolerant and they buy me special food. It's a fantastic facility. So I've learned so much and just in the short period of time that I've been there.
So how much longer time do you have with inpatient?
So I'm going to be totally transparent. I had entered the facility on February 10th and was released on March 13th. It took about 2 weeks, but I relapsed. I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing, which was attend to AA, talk to my sponsor. I was self-isolating again. And so it took 2 weeks, but the thoughts control the behavior, which control the actions or feelings then control the actions. So I did relapse. I then scared the crap out of me because I don't want to be an alcoholic. Well, I'm going to be an alcoholic, but I want to live a nice life. And because I used to have everything and I lost it all. I'm at rock bottom. And so I re-entered the program voluntarily last Monday. It'll be 2 weeks. So I have another 6 weeks before I enter the IOP, which is when I go get a job and everything like that. I plan on staying in sober living afterwards. So that's going to be another controlled environment with UAs and breathalyzing. And I can do that at SOBA. So they actually have, I think it's like 25 acres or something like that. Yeah, it's amazing. It sprawls out. There's a men's house, a women's house, a nursing
I
station.
have to come and get a tour.
Yeah.
I've had the people at the facility come and talk to me because it really clicked with me when you mentioned the hospitalization part.
Yes, ma'am.
Because the person talked to me and they told me that with alcohol and really with any other drug, of course, you got to detox and all of that.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you got to get your mind straight. But then the hospitalization part is a part of that. So there won't be any
I totally forgot
backslides.
that. Yeah, it's actually considered a dual facility for both rehabilitation from substances and a mental facility. So I am medicated. I have bipolar 2, ADHD, OCD, those kind of things, PTSD, and from childhood trauma. And yes, I'm on a bipolar med. If you can't sleep, they help you with, and non-narcotic, of course, sleep like melatonin. It's just a fabulous facility. Like all the staff is super caring, the nursing staff. We've got a doctor on call at all times, Dr. Healy, he's a psychiatrist.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
that's
So-
who talked to me.
Yeah, Dr. Healy. Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. He really listens and doesn't just push pills. Like I can't stand that. Like I don't want to be over medicated. I don't want to be a zombie. I just need the help. So
Okay, awesome.
Let me just ask a question. So, you're locked down for how many more days?
for another 6 weeks, I cannot leave. Well, I can leave the facility, like I said, for the 4-hour passes. After 30 days on Saturday and Sunday. But I would not be adverse to just foregoing those passes, just to stay in the lockdown, aspect of it. But like I said, after the 60 days, that's when you can actually leave and go get a job. And yeah,
All right, so you're going to have to sign a release for probation. Probation, with regards to this facility where she is, you all can do the UA testing or you can accept their UA testing, however, that's appropriate under your program. So, all right, thank you. So as previously stated, the court is going to find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 8 years in prison, suspended and probated for 6 years. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. You to continue with treatment at SOBA, SOBA?
yes, ma'am.
All right. There is to be a 2-year license suspension. All right, with regards to the GPS, if she were on full lock time at that facility and they were not allowing her to leave, I wouldn't even do GPS because she would be there.
And
So-
that was where I was trying to go to, because we had talked about that, and if the court instructs her that she's still within that lockdown for 2 more weeks, and then she would be where she got some freedom, but the court could order that she could not leave the facility for those 4 hours.
Those other 30 days.
All right, so
It's up to y'all.
then,
I mean, I
well,
don't.
here's the thing, GPS is expensive.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And I
Yeah.
am indigent.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've lost everything.
All right, State, do you have any objection to the court ordering that since she's at SOBA, that for the 10 days, she is to be on their lockdown and not leave campus?
As long as there's verification that she does remain on campus for the entire 10 days, then no, the state is not.
All right. So in lieu of the 10 days in the Bexar County Jail, I'm going to order that you're to remain at SOBA on their lockdown
Yes, ma'am.
and not leave the campus.
Yes, ma'am.
And she was brought here by the facility.
Yes, they
Oh,
take you
yeah.
to appointments.
Oh, where
and
are they?
everything. They're not in
Oh,
court.
then-
Yeah, I just call them and
Yeah.
they come pick
All
me
right.
up. Yes, ma'am. Like I said, it's a fantastic facility. I just can't get over the level of care and understanding, just because, like I said, most of the staff, even my therapist has a master's degree in social work and he is a recovering alcoholic. So he does this amazing therapy called EBDT.
Mhm.
It's fairly new. It's about 3 years old and it's like hypnosis based.
Mhm.
And you target like a traumatic memory and he walks you through and it's got this wand. It's really weird, but it is like magic. So yeah, it's great therapy.
Okay. All right. And then there will be, and as I previously stated, in lieu of the 10 days in the Bexar County Jail, there's to be complete lockdown at the SOBA facility for 10 days. DWI education course, VIP live, DWI intervention. And if they have those programs at that facility, then those will count towards that. But you will need to give a release to probation so that they can make sure that those programs are equivalent to the programs that I'm requesting.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, there's 200 hours of community service restitution. Do you have any children?
I do. They don't live with me. My 14-year-old lives in Kyle with his father, and then my 23-year-old is on his own. He's very successful.
All right. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once she completes that, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Do you have any vehicles?
No, ma'am. Well, I have a vehicle right now, and that's something that I would like to discuss as well. It's about to go back to the bank. Like I said, I'm indigent. I have no way to pay for it. Plus I haven't been driving it. It's been sitting in my boyfriend's driveway. But with the breathalyzer on it, like I said, it's gonna have to either get sold back to CarMax if they accept it or go back to the bank. And I was hoping to get a release of breathalyzer off the vehicle because I cannot, excuse me, cannot sell it or turn it back to the bank with the Smart Start device on it. I would not be adverse to getting an in-home device. That's, I know that's typical.
All right, so what I'll do is, it's gonna be ignition interlock for half the term, or you can provide an affidavit of non-driving, and the court will order a portable alcohol monitoring device.
And will that allow me to, because I believe Smart Start needs proof of a judge release?
They're gonna give everything to you.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
There'll be field visits one time per month for 6 months. Proof of employment within 45 days of release from SOBA. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. And I'm going to order 120 sober meetings in 120 days. I know you're already doing that there, and you'll need to make sure that they receive that.
Yes, ma'am.
Taking consideration 2024 PF 28045. Probation, is there anything else?
No, Judge, I think that'll be it.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am. You've been extremely helpful. Thank you.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question about that, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. I'm glad that you are taking this seriously, because alcohol and driving just does not mix. You could easily kill someone. You
Yes,
understand?
ma'am. And I thank God every day that I did not harm someone else and I didn't kill myself. So just because my boys would be devastated and my family in general. So
Well, here's the thing. In this court, your attorney will tell you communication is key to successfully complete probation in here. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court, okay?
yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Just remain in court probation. We'll go over conditions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. And State, if I could have that dismissal. All right, who's here? Yes,
May I?
yes.
On Javier Herrera, we have a victim impact statement that she had just given birth a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
And so she was hoping that the court would allow her to do a brief one over Zoom.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, who's here on Nathan Martinez?
Sure.
Yes. No.
No, okay.
Are you all ready to proceed?
I'm ready, Judge.
All right, court is calling 2022 CR 10261 State versus Nathan Martinez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense,
Larry Meadows for the defendant.
and are you Nathan Martinez?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you this, did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment Motion to revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Are you the same Nathan Martinez who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 10261 for the offense of felon in possession of a firearm on May 23rd, 2023 for a period of 8 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
The court summary does not include a copy of the motions and
Here.
has not been provided to me.
Here.
Here, I've got it.
In Bear County, Texas, the defendant Nathan Martinez did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of August, September, October, November, December of 2024, January, February, March of 2025 in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State waives the remaining violation allegation.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 8 years in prison and up to a $250 fine? Did you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes.
Yes.
And what is that proposed agreement?
Deny the motion. Requires state ISF amends for moral recognition therapy. All of the conditions remain in full force and effect.
All
That's
right.
the agreement.
All right, so here's the court's question from reviewing the, well, let me do this. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
My name is Nathan Ryan Martinez.
All right, why are you not reporting?
Well, I had a drug problem and I started using drugs again. Whenever I had got out, I was gone for about 2 years. Then I had to go to ISF, and I went for the 6 months. So I was gone for quite a while, and I lost all my social security and my ID. So whenever I had got out, I was in the process of getting that, and I ended up getting my social, and I had was going to get my ID, but it was a 3-month waiting period, and with that time, I started going into my old ways and stuff. So as soon as I started using again, I stopped reporting, and I mean, I was just in limbo to then waiting to get arrested.
Okay, because I noticed in the motion to revoke, I'm not considering it, but I noticed that you had a lot of UA issues, alcohol and methamphetamine and amphetamine. So that's a problem. All right, I'm going to give you a choice, right? You're at a crossroads in your life, and it's completely up to you what you choose. I can revoke you. I will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, ask that you be given the therapeutic community, or I can continue you, but I don't think MRT is appropriate for you. He has a drug problem. He needs to go to safety. And felony drug court, I'll do another referral to felony drug court, but he needs to go to safety.
Yeah, I'll take the 3, but
See, he doesn't want help. See how that clears that up for everybody? He'll take the 3 years in the prison. So are you waiving your right to appeal?
yes.
All right. So the court is going to revoke and sentence you to 3 years in the prison. Therapeutic community, give you credit for any time served. And there's to be no contact with Daniel Pizzuto, Pizzuto Jr., Deborah, Debra, Pizzuto, Desiree, Dezeray Sanchez. And there's to be no contact with minors. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
We can go off the record. If you don't change your life, only 2 possible outcomes are for you. 1, you're going to end up in prison or jail for the rest of your life. Or 2, somebody's going to have to identify your body in some field or on a sidewalk or somewhere. You understand?
I do.
You need to change your life. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And if you all give the court summary back to probation, please. Anyone else ready? Who's here on Roberto Gonzalez? Oh, that's an early discharge.
And then to talk to Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
I
Yes.
gave her the appointment for Charles.
All right, awesome. And let me see the file on Hernandez and on Javier Herrera, please. Oh, go ahead. Oh, paperwork for him. Okay. I need Abel Hernandez.
Motion to travel, the permit to travel.
Mhm.
The defendant said he's not able to make it in.
Oh, he can do it by Zoom.
He said it was too short of a notice. He's not able to appear.
Okay. Well, and I can't sign it. All right, thank you.
So, you know,
Second chair on this side.
and Raymond Bale is second presiding.
Oh, oh, okay. Well, she's gonna have to go back.
And I haven't heard from Mr. McLean.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it to.
All right, no problem.
You gonna reset everybody else, Tish? No,
Uh,
5 minutes. I'm so excited.
I'm sorry, what?
Gonna reset everybody.
Hey, slow it down, slow it down. Oh, and Lindsay,
Yes, ma'am.
Abel Hernandez, his family is here as well.
I don't understand. Because I'm gonna have the same thing. The only distinction between- the only distinction between that and obviously, is that the, each group, that she would do, makes that. So you would not feel comfortable leaving. That would seem free.
That's her life.
How many classes?
I need to do last minute shopping and I don't know what I'm getting my mother.
Yes, I'm sorry. Because that would not say.
Judge has flowers up.
Oh, can I borrow some flowers, Fred?
Oh, you need some flowers for the mother of your children? You should be ashamed, ashamed. Hey, Bianca, it's like Game of Thrones. Shame, shame. I will tell you, I think they have some flowers at HEB on Flores. They're $45 now.
You can also go to Trader Joe's.
Trader
And
Joe's.
get
Oh,
multiple
really?
little bouquets and like $35 and you can make 3 bouquets out of all the little multiples.
Let me just tell you.
Good idea.
Here's the thing, Rick. My mom, this is what women want. I believe I can tell you what women want because guess who's a woman? And I can go by what my mom always wanted. My mom would always say, the only thing I want is some peace and quiet.
I can do that.
Oh, well, you're better than my brother, because you know what my younger brother told her? He's like, Mom, I can give you a kidney, I can do this, but I can't give you any peace and quiet. So if you give her, I tell you what, if you give her some peace and quiet and maybe take the children out and let her do a cow gun, take me away. I know people are too young to, have you seen that commercial before? Thank you. I know Rick doesn't know about that commercial. But in that commercial, you would always have the woman cooking, doing all this other stuff and children running around yelling. And she closes her bathroom door and does a bowl bath with Calgon. And they had the commercial, Calgon, take me away. And you would just, you know, yes. Thank you. I know you know that, Miss Davis.
But you could always wake up in the bathtub.
Yeah, she would wake up in the bath.
Right, the bathtub.
Yep. Sure.
Guys, on that permit to travel, The defendant said he couldn't zoom in, so I'm not granting the permit to travel. All right, there's that one. Okay, no problem. And Deputy Laura, I am getting to the other people whose attorneys have not appeared. I'm getting there.
I thought it was nice about nine.
Oh, no, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always tell people, take picture of little is a lot of. For state defensive.
All right, Javier Herrera. Okay, so you all need to explain this to the court.
Yes, ma'am. I've spoken with the complainant. This is the outcome that she wants. And that she feels comfortable moving forward.
And how is the complainant?
20, well, I'm sorry, she was born in, she's 26 now, Your Honor.
All right, and so the complainant is now 26 years old and this is what she's requesting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Court is calling 2021 CR 2011 State versus Javier Herrera. Can I have parties announced for the record? State?
Ashley Jones for the state.
Lindsay Shaw, I'm sorry, Lindsay Shaw for Mr. Herrera.
And are you Mr. Herrera? Did you review this document entitled deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are not, Your Honor. We are proceeding only on count 2, which is indecency of public.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on count 2, indecency with a child by contact? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you're giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Herrera, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,500 fine. There's to be no contact with the complainant, and Chapter 62 registration in the state is recommending deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. I did.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, ma'am.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years, 200 hours community service restitution, and you're to be supervised by the sex offender unit. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you count 2? How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State offer states exhibit 1 and all attachments. No objection.
All right, did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. All right, so why am I following this agreement? Or I should say, why should I follow this agreement?
Your Honor, we have discussed this agreement at length with the complainant, including just proceeding to trial and having a jury decide whether the defendant is guilty or not guilty. She understands everything that comes along with the trial and everything that would come along with this plea agreement. And she has chosen, or at least let the state know that she would, her preference would be to go forward with the plea.
All right, and now the former child is now an adult?
She is, Your Honor, and I did misspeak earlier. I aged her by a year. She's only 25. But she does not have any contact with the defendant. My understanding was that the defendant was married to the complainant's mother, had gotten divorced, and has been divorced from their mother for quite some time now.
All right, do you have any other children?
Yes, Your Honor. I do.
And what are their ages?
10 and 5, Your Honor.
All right, I'm not going to allow you to have contact with minors. I'm not going to allow you to reside in any household with minors. You can't be trusted around children.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm going to give you a choice. Here are your choices. The state is asking that your community supervision be for 5 years. That's a recommendation for them. I'm going to make it 10.
Yes.
Or either if you all would want to negotiate a prison term, you can. Otherwise, it's going to be 10 years deferred adjudication.
Yes, Your Honor.
So do you want 10 years deferred adjudication?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, there's a $1,500 fine. 10 years deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with minors. No contact with the complainant. Chapter 62 registration. Regular reporting, and that's going to be in person. Regular random UAs. Proof of employment within 35 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. There's to be no residing in a household with minors. He's to be supervised by the sex offender unit. They're asking for community service hours. There's no community service hours I can give you legally because there's no place that will accept community service from you. There's going to be 180 days in the Bexar County Jail as a condition of probation. Probation, is there anything else? And we can do a TAP evaluation while in custody.
No other, thanks, Judge.
All right, there'll be a TAP evaluation in custody. Follow recommendations. Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
Oh, yeah.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, we can go off the record. So what I can tell you is the complainant saved you from going to prison. Because in this specific case, if the complainant still would have been a child, I would not have followed this agreement. But because she's an adult, I realized that maybe her mother or somebody is not pulling strings. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, is there anything else?
Yes, Your Honor, we do have victim impact statement. We are having a little bit of trouble getting the link to the complainant. I would just ask maybe for about 5 minutes so that.
All right, then, what we can do is, if she is she able by phone?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so then what we can do is if he'll go into the box and then you all can play the phone for him where she does her victim impact.
One thing we missed was the field visits.
All right, thank you. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice.
Judge, if I may, my client, when he was arrested, he's been living in Cheyenne, Wyoming for the last 6 years. We would ask, once he's released from custody, if we could have this transferred to Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Do we know what county that is?
I can look it up really quick, Judge.
All right, and I'll look it up as well. And there's to be a transfer to Cheyenne, Wyoming. You're not transferred unless they accept you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I got arrested when I was on my way to work and I left my belongings over there to my employer. So I have no ID, no social security.
It's Laramie County.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
And then Lindsay, on Abel Hernandez, I'll
Yes,
give you a
Judge.
reset.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
I'll give you a 30-day reset. What day for you is good? I can do it we can put it on June 26th. You okay with that?
Yes, ma'am, that works.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. All right, Mr. Hernandez, we're gonna bring you back on June 26th, okay? And this is gonna be your new attorney. All right, thank you. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No. Oh, yes, I did. I'm sorry. Yes, I did. Wait, I'm sorry. No, I didn't do one. Okay. Yes. Ow. It's 1,500. Is it 20? No. Thank you, Judge. You're welcome. Sometimes I can't read my own writing. Deputy Laura,
Yes, Judge.
we're starting at 10:30, so.
Get rid of them.
Mhm. If somebody's doing paperwork, just find out who it is and they can come back in the afternoon. All right, they'll have to come back in the afternoon or either stay when we have a break. They're doing paperwork, Deputy Laura. Negotiations took a while.
Your rule said. Nothing about people, Judge.
Was filed there. It's been a long time since I've seen this plea bargain. I just brushed on around. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, Deputy Laura.
Yes, Judge.
Yeah, they'll have to come back in the afternoon. Who's working on plea paperwork? All right, so Jessica Alcazar, if you can hold her in the back and we'll get to her when we have a break.
Okay.
Shannon Patton, you can send them back. I don't know where their attorney is.
He's gone already.
Okay. Roberto Gonzalez, we'll take care of that later. Ray Villarreal, that's done. Hank,
Maldonado, he's out here, Judge.
all right, you can, does he have a PSI that's pending?
He does, Judge.
All right, he can come back in the afternoon.
Okay, that's fine.
And
Thank you,
then, Jonathan Allen, bring him back in the afternoon.
I'm here for him too.
All right, thank you.
Judge.
Yay, that's what I'm talking about. And your guy is Mr. Moore? Alan, Maldonado. Alcocer.
This case is for defendant on.
And on, Deputy Laura, on,
Alan.
on this case here with the female,
Yes, Judge.
counsel, did you finish going over paperwork with her?
We did, Judge. We're ready.
All right, okay. Then we'll, just hold her, can you just hold her in one of the back cells?
You have 2 minutes, Judge.
All right, they'll hold you in one of the back cells. Well, I promised the jurors that we would start exactly at 10:30. See, gotta keep my promises.
Judge,
Yes,
is Maldonado being reset?
no, it's coming back in the afternoon. All right, thank you. Oh, and Deputy Laura, he can go.
Thank you for probation, so. We'll take her.
Oh, wait, all right.
I'll have it. Well, it is. I like it. Mucho más delicious. Mucho delicious. I'm going
Oh, Larry?
Okay,
Huh. Oh, that's potential. And if you could put 2 on the state's desk.
Okay, sure
Okay,
thing.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deputy Laura.
What did I do now?
Oh, you're doing great.
Okay.
Never know. Never know. What reason?
I'll see.
And then she was gonna be back in.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, cause there, come on.
And then hold her.
Yeah. We can put it back over there. We can wait, with her, they have a. I think we kind of, right. And we looked at the jurors. Those are the, but I would be able to manage. Biggest.
I'm ready.
waiting for me to.
It was a skull. Which I thought.
You know what, I'm gonna make
All
my
right,
own
can
mental note
someone
here.
call
Do
Larry?
classic cars, because nobody does classic
I
cars.
like that.
Can you go get Larry, Larry, he's in that witness,
Where's Larry?
in the witness room. Judge, the jurors have been here since 10:15.
Oh, we're ready to bring him in. Oh, Larry's coming in. You know, when you said Larry, you know what it reminded me of? Do you remember the Bob Newhart show?
Oh.
Where it's like, that's my brother Larry, my other
Yeah, like
brother.
Larry and Daryl.
Yeah.
My brother, my other brother there.
You know, Judge, and just one thing on time issue.
Mhm.
So I've got Tina Jimenez back. There is some inconsistent statements that she made.
Mhm.
And so normally how I do that, I just tell the court what's going on. So normally I call her to the stand, ask her if she makes the statement.
Mhm.
And then we have to release the jury so I can play the statements for her. And then she gets to either choose to admit or deny them. And then if she denies them, I guess
Okay.
they're admissible. But I don't know if you wanted me to do it that way or if you
Well,
want
let
me
me
to.
ask you this. Have she already heard her previous?
No,
statement?
I'm asking, should I play her statements for her right now?
How long is it?
Very short, because it's just her inconsistent
Which one?
statements. Huh?
Because there's a 40-minute phone conversation that she had.
I can come play the parts for you.
Well, that would probably be an issue because we would probably do optional completeness, Your Honor. We would prefer to have the whole thing in.
But yeah, it's still, the rest of it's still hearsay. It's just the problem is,
Right.
the only reason this is not hearsay is because it's an inconsistent statement.
Well, you know what? Let's bring the jury in and then we'll see what she says and we'll take it that way. Let me ask you this, Larry, you don't happen to have any extra set of headphones for her, do you?
No,
Okay.
I don't have any headphones, bitch.
Do you need headphones?
Oh,
But
that way we wouldn't have to take her on and off.
there's some in that second, I'm telling you, I keep.
Oh, we have headphones.
Okay, because I brought these. Oh, do you want
All
to use
right.
those pretty ones, or you want me to get the ones that I have?
Yeah.
Pretty. These are.
Oh, those are
Those are
beats.
No, these are.
I don't know if I put those on my ears.
I
Yeah.
know. I beat up from my misdemeanor days.
Oh, Larry,
Yes, Judge.
so if you have it on your computer downloaded, the parts, Deputy Laura said that we have headphones.
I have it on my disc here.
Yeah, and so we have headphones, we can plug that in and she can hear.
Those are mine, sure.
All right, court is gonna call 2024 CR 2338B State versus Mariano Rendon. Can I have parties announce?
Megan Gower and Jason Gary on for the state.
Larry Bloomquist for the defense.
And are you Mr. Rendon?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, are both parties ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's bring the jurors in.
Okay, just.
Okay, sure.
Let me make sure.
Yes.
Jimenez, stand please. That was my-
If you'll restate your name for the record, please.
Tina Linda Jimenez.
All right, still under oath. Defense, you may proceed.
Thank you. Tina, I just had a couple quick questions for you. My first question is, were you there when Pablo exited the building?
As far as I can remember, yes.
Okay. And I think you testified that you guys just walked out and that nobody escorted you out. Is that correct?
Right, nobody was, that I can remember, nobody was holding Pablo. I know nobody was holding me.
Okay. And if there was somebody holding Pablo, was that possible that that did happen?
Could be.
Okay. And Pablo was wearing a brown shirt that evening, is that correct?
I don't recall.
Well, we saw him in the video yesterday and he was wearing a brown shirt. Is that accurate?
I would say yes.
May I approach? Oh,
Yes.
let me show you which have at this time just been marked for identification purposes. Offense exhibit 1, 2, and 3. They've not yet been admitted to evidence. But can you just look at those, and are those photographs of it? Do you recognize the person in this photograph?
Yes, Pablo.
That's Pablo.
Yes,
And we see Pablo being in both state defense 1, 2, and 3.
yes.
Does that refresh your recollection
Okay.
about whether he walked out by himself or whether he was escorted out by security?
Okay, that refreshes my mind now.
Okay. And so the answer is yes, he was escorted out by security.
If it's on there, yes.
And then there was some conversations that we had about drinking. And I think you had said that he had had about 5 drinks in total, correct?
Exactly.
And the way that you were kind of portraying it was that Pablo was not intoxicated. Is that what you were trying to convey to the jury?
That is correct.
Okay. There was a conversation that you had with Mariano Rendon. Is that
Okay.
correct?
Correct.
And part of that conversation was you were seeking compensation for Pablo's injuries.
I don't recall that.
Okay. Did you ask that basically telling him things like, well, you need to make this right, things like that?
Of course, because Pablo got hurt very bad.
During that conversation, isn't it true that you made, I'm going to read you a couple statements and just let me know if you made it,
Okay.
okay, or not. He had a little more to drink. It was his birthday. Did
I
you
don't
make that
recall
statement?
I don't recall.
Okay. Is it possible that you made that statement?
I don't recall.
Okay. Pablo was a little more drunk than normal because we had went to have dinner with all of our family and we had margaritas. Do you remember making that statement?
No, I don't recall.
Okay. But it's possible you made that
I
statement?
don't recall.
Okay. I can say Pablo had more to drink than normal.
I don't recall.
He drank and drank it for his birthday. Do you remember making that statement?
No,
You're saying you did not make that
I
statement.
don't recall making that statement.
Okay.
He drank and drank, no.
He had been drinking more than he was supposed to. My apologies. Did you make that
I
statement?
don't recall.
Okay. Judge, may
Yes.
I have some moments with her outside the presence of the jury?
Can I have parties approach?
Yes. How are the headphones connected? How do I connect them?
Deputy Laura, do you have the headphones for him? Over here.
Okay.
And if there should be an outlet in your computer, I think. Yes, they're wrapped tightly.
Good arm workout.
Where did it go? Oh, he's not plugging it into his computer. Hopefully it's the right side.
Christina, I'm gonna play you 2 audio clips.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask you afterwards whether that refreshes your recollection, if you did make those statements, and you'll either admit or deny making those statements, okay?
Okay.
If you need to hear it more than once, I'm okay with that. Just let me know, okay?
Okay.
You heard it okay?
Don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything?
Mm-mm.
Just let me know if you hear it now.
Loud.
You need more volume or less, let me know.
That's fine.
You need to hear it again?
No.
I'll play the second clip. Okay,
no.
Okay. He takes it. Was that able to refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Okay. And okay. Did that refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Okay. So in fact, you did make the statement, he had a little more to drink. It was his birthday, correct?
Yes, but not to the point to be intoxicated.
And then you did say, Pablo was a little more drunk than normal because we had went to our dinner with our family and we had margaritas, correct?
Which was one each.
But you did say he was a little bit more drunk than normal,
A
correct?
little bit.
I can say Pablo had more to drink than normal. You said made that statement as well, correct?
Correct.
And then you said he drank and drank for his birthday, correct?
I said that, the normal 5.
He drank more than he was supposed to. My apologies. Did you make that statement?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you recall, this just kind of refresh your recollection and you do admit to making all of these statements.
I do.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, State.
Yes. Do you remember during this 40-minute conversation that was recorded by the defendant, that was a phone call that you had with the defendant the next day?
That is correct, but I didn't know I was being recorded.
Okay. But to be fair, it was your voice on there and it was the defendant's voice.
That is correct.
And you recall the defendant saying, look, I know Pablo wasn't plastered drunk or anything.
Right.
And
Correct.
And you did say Pablo had a little bit more to drink than normal.
Correct.
And normal, he drinks how many?
3 to 4.
Okay, so and this night he had at least 5, well, we're saying around 5 or so.
5, yes.
Okay.
Plus that one margarita we had.
All right. And, you know, during this long conversation, and I know you probably don't remember it all, because have you ever heard that 40-minute phone conversation, the recording?
No, sir.
So you're just going off your memory right now?
Yes.
And the
yes,
small portions that defense played for you?
Exactly.
Okay, so he did only played snippets of that whole conversation,
Exactly. He did.
but it was a 40-minute conversation.
Yes, it was.
And y'all spoke about many things about that night.
Yes, sir. We sure did.
Spoke about the security guards taking your husband to the ground
Yes.
and also beating on your husband,
Yes.
and that your husband was pretty beat up.
Absolutely. Yes.
And this is before the surgery, though. This is the next day.
The next day. Yes.
So he didn't have his surgery until several days later.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
So you were unaware that Pablo had a ruptured intestines.
That's correct.
So, oh, well, let me ask you this. Were you aware that this man from that video had kneed your husband so violently in that video?
No.
So when you're speaking to him on this recorded conversation that he recorded without your knowledge, he didn't tell you at any time during this conversation that he used both his knees and jumped into your husband's stomach, did he?
No, he didn't.
You thought this was a friend trying to help you.
That's correct.
And then on top of that, in this conversation, he tells you Pablo will be charged with a felony.
That is correct.
Several times he tells you Pablo will be charged, you could be charged, the nephew can be charged, and also the nephew's girlfriend, did he not?
Yes, sir. He did.
And then on top of that, he says, but look, you remember him saying this? He says, we want to de-escalate this. Let's not press charges.
Yes, he sure did. Plenty of times.
And so during this long conversation of him saying this, did he also say, I have every right, legal right to do whatever means it takes to dis-escalate the situation?
That is correct.
And then he also say, I do whatever it takes,
Yes, he did.
do whatever means to get people out.
Yes, that's correct.
Pass the witness.
I have no further questions for this witness.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
She can be excused, Your Honor.
All right, the rule has been invoked, so You are not allowed to discuss your testimony with anyone except for attorneys for the state or the defense. Do you understand? All right, you may step down. Don't forget to leave your microphone.
Thank you.
You know, at this time, we'll call Jacqueline Reyes. I'll grab her.
If you could raise your hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that the members of the jury can hear. If you could state your name for the record.
Jacqueline Reyes.
All right, you may proceed.
Judge, maybe approach briefly.
Yes. Right, defense, you may proceed.
Can you state your name for the record?
Jacqueline Reyes.
And Jacqueline, had you been employed as a bartender at El Volcan?
Yes.
And how long did you work at El Volcan?
About 8 years.
Okay. And do you have any family relationship to Mariano Rendon?
Yes.
And how are you related to him?
He's my father-in-law.
Okay. And describe your general duties as a bartender there at El Volcan.
Not over serving, making sure people are only getting the amount of liquor they're supposed to or beer. And then cutting them off as soon as you see that they're too intoxicated.
Okay. And then just generally making drinks and serving them. Do you serve at the bar or do you serve outside the bar, just at the bar?
Just at the bar.
Okay. And then did you know Tina Jimenez and Pablo Rodriguez? Did you know them?
Yeah, they would come in every weekend.
Okay. So they were regulars, would you say?
Yes, I would serve them every weekend.
And do you know if they sat in a particular area of the bar when they would come in?
Yes.
And where was that at?
Closer to my bar by the kitchen.
Okay. And so were you the bartender that they would always go to purchase their drinks from?
Yes.
Okay, because you're right there as close to where they always sit in the same area, correct?
Yes.
So, I mean, over to the left, and how long have they been coming there?
I remember them probably about 6 years back.
6 years back?
I would be there every weekend.
So you would see them every week for about 6 years?
Yes.
Plus or minus 1 or 2 weeks, right? Yeah. During that period of time, what would they generally order when they would come into the bar?
They would order a couple beers, Modelos, and then they would switch off between Modelo and Bucana and Red Bull.
What is Bucana and Red Bull?
It's a whiskey.
Okay, Bucana is a whiskey.
Yes.
And then they would they sometimes buy the beer by the bucket?
They would get them in pairs.
In pairs,
Mhm.
okay. And were there times when, had you ever had to cut Pablo off from drinking because he was overserved?
Objection. I'm gonna object to forming the question and relevance as to previous.
The relevance was the state made an effort to show that they had drank very little on that occasion. And the fact that he was had been
All right,
seen.
that objection will be sustained.
Did you see, were there times when you would see Pablo Rodriguez where you felt that he was intoxicated?
Yes, there was a couple of times where he would be really, really sweaty, more than
Object
usual.
to the question. If I
It-
object,
Could everyone please approach? All right, so just so you know, when any attorney makes an objection, just stop speaking, because that means they want me to make a ruling on something. Nope, just 1 second.
So on the night, did you see Pablo Rodriguez and Tina Jimenez the night that this big fight occurred?
Yes,
And was that the last time that you saw them at the bar?
yes.
Okay. And can you describe what you noticed about Pablo Rodriguez's demeanor that night?
He was a little more intoxicated than usual. He was really sweaty. His eyes were red. And he was a little humbly, so I cut him off.
Okay. And then, and about how long, from the time that you cut him off to the time that the fight occurred, about how long had that been?
Maybe 30 minutes.
Okay. But as a bartender, one of the problems is that if I go and buy, let's say I come up to you and I buy 4 drinks, right? You can't control who might else hand somebody a beer or a drink, correct?
No,
Once I leave the bar, it's like you can't control who I'm giving those to.
correct.
And there are times when you may cut off a patron, but another patron may give them alcohol that you're unaware of. Is that fair to say?
Yes,
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
All right, state.
Ms. Reyes, so you stated that the defendant is your father-in-law, is that correct?
yes.
And about how long have you known him?
15 years.
Okay, and so I'm assuming you're married to his son, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you have children with his son?
2.
Okay. And so you've known him for 15 years, and you said you've been married or together with the son for how many years?
15.
Okay, and then you worked at Volcan for 8 years, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and the whole time that you've been employed at Volcan, were you a bartender?
No, I started off working the door
Okay.
and then I switched over to bartending.
And then you stated, well, I guess Volcan is closed currently, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and about how long ago did it close?
About 30 days. A little
Like
over.
a month ago,
Yeah.
maybe? And that was the location that's located at Ingram Road, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and it's a little up the street from Ingram Park Mall, correct?
Yes.
And that's located here in Bear County?
Yes.
Okay. And isn't it true that the defendant is opening a new Volcan at Randy's Ballroom on Bandera Road?
Yes.
Okay, and that's set to open this weekend, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so in your duties as a bartender, well, I guess if we describe the atmosphere at Volcan, I mean, it's a place that people go to drink alcohol, correct, and dance, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and so that's kind of the experience that you all seek to provide, right? A good time where people can drink alcohol and dance to cumbias and norteño music.
Yeah,
is that
safe
correct?
environment for them to have fun.
Okay, and just so the jury's aware, the cumbias and norteños is just a type of Spanish music, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that was predominantly what you all would play there at Volcan, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so you stated that on the night of the incident, Well, I guess you stated that you were familiar with Pablo and Tina, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, and they were regulars of yours, correct?
yes,
And you stated on the night of that you observed Pablo with red eyes, is that correct?
yes.
Would it surprise you to know that a police officer that interacted with him a couple of, maybe 30 minutes later, didn't note those same observations?
Don't see how he didn't see that. His eyes were bright red.
Okay. And you stated that you cut Pablo off on that night, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. But you were at the bar when the fight happened, correct?
it was right after we closed down the bar.
Okay, so you didn't actually see what happened regarding the fight, is that correct?
No, I saw after the aftermath.
Okay, and I guess I kind of have a question because I'm kind of confused about how you guys, or the protocol about last call. So when we say last call, is that an announcement that's being made for people to go buy their last drink? Or can you explain that to me? please?
So we announce it on the microphone, that last call, they have 10 minutes to go get a last drink or finish their drink.
Okay,
And then we pull alcohol at 2.
okay. So then, if somebody chooses to go buy their last drink, they're expected to drink that within the last 10 minutes?
No, we give them about 5 minutes to finish.
Okay, just, I'm a little confused. So you announce last call, correct?
Mhm.
And that gives the patrons a choice to either buy their last beer or finish the drink that they currently have, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if a patron was there and at last call, they decide, hey, I'm gonna go get my last beer, then how fast are they expected to drink that beer?
They need to have it done by at least 2:01. So we start telling them they need to finish it. They need to go in the trash.
Okay, and so about how many minutes is that they're expected to drink their last drink if they were to buy it at the last call?
The 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes,
Mhm.
okay. That's pretty dangerous situation if you have somebody that's chugging a drink in 10 minutes. correct?
Objection relevance.
All right, that'll be sustained.
We pass the witness, Your Honor.
You said that you saw the aftermath of the fight. Did you see people that worked at the bar that were injured?
Yes.
And who did you see that was injured?
Calvin and Anthony.
And I just want to talk about your observations. What did you observe about Anthony?
Anthony was all red. All his equipment was taken off. And he looked like he got scratched up a little bit. He was red.
What did you notice about Calvin?
Calvin was holding his shoulder. They threw him on the floor and he said that it was hurting really bad.
I'll pass witness.
All right, any further questions?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Does Volcan have cameras inside?
Yes.
Okay. And in your experience in working there, are the cameras usually in good working order?
Not all the time.
Okay. And so since you work there, can you tell me where the cameras are located?
I don't know where all of them are located. I just know where a few are.
Okay, go ahead and tell me where the few that you remember are located.
The entrance and the front door.
Okay.
By one of the bars and outside.
Okay. Have you reviewed any footage in preparation for your testimony?
No.
So if there's a camera by the bar, would that have captured you cutting Pablo off?
No,
And why is that?
because I'm in the back bar.
Okay, so you're saying there's no camera by where you're at?
No.
Okay. Would it surprise you to know that the defendant, when asked to provide video footage for this case, stated that the internet had been down on the night of the offense?
Can you ask that again?
I'm gonna object. This is misleading. I mean, I think they've already been testimony that Mr. Rendon provided video to the state, and the state has actually already admitted that into evidence. So I think that question is trying to mislead the jury.
All right, that'll be overruled. You can ask the question.
Were you aware that when the defendant was initially asked to provide video footage of what happened in Volcan that night, he stated that he wouldn't be able to do that because the internet was down on that night?
Yes.
It would surprise you.
No, it usually goes down. We have a lot of internet issues.
Okay. Now, there has been some footage entered, and would it surprise you that other people that were in the bar were walking out and were stumbly and had red eyes and had the same, descriptors that you described earlier?
No.
No, so usually people that go there, they drink to a level of where they're swaying and.
No, we cut them off before then.
Okay, so if there's people that are on the surveillance video stumbling out and have red eyes and stuff, that's a surprise to you?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying about how many people did you cut off the night of the offense?
Just Pablo and one other person.
Okay, and on any other nights, how many people would you typically cut off?
A lot of people usually handle their liquor, so I don't have to cut them off very often.
Okay. Do you know what the legal definition of intoxication is?
Yeah, objection relevance.
That'll be overruled. You can answer either yes or no.
Yes.
What is it?
They're tumbling, they're slurring their words, they have red eyes, they're just, sometimes they get angry, sometimes they don't.
Okay, and is that, I guess, what you found in your training and experience?
Yes.
Okay. Will you pass the witness, Your Honor?
I have nothing further for this witness.
All right, is this witness excused or subject to recall?
Excused from the defense.
Excuse.
All right, the rule has been invoked. You're not allowed to discuss your testimony with anyone except for attorneys for the state of defense. If you remove your microphone. All right, all right.
All right, this time the defense will call Chris V in the way. Let him stand.
If you'll have a seat here, please, sir. All right, and there's a tiny microphone that's up there, it's square. If you put that on your shirt somewhere. Yes. All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that members of the jury can hear. If you'll state your name for the record, please.
So Chris Bienwell.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you. Chris, I want to, first of all, let me ask you this. Did you work last night?
Yes, sir.
What's your shift that you worked last night?
Third shift. I work overnights.
Okay, and what time does third shift start?
I started at 11 p.m. I got off at 6 o'clock this morning.
Okay. And so this would be a time that you would normally be sleeping. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And where do you work at, Chris?
Retired right now at IFCO.
And what do you do for them?
I do labor work, load. It's a warehouse. I do loading, unloading.
Okay, and how long have you been there?
Like few weeks, month.
Okay.
Maybe.
And did you used to work at El Volcan?
Yes, sir.
And how long did you work there?
Since 2021.
Okay. And how many shifts would you do there per week on an average?
Well, it changed from time to time.
Okay.
Like, there was a time when I was full-time worker, and then there was a time when I was just the weekend. That was it.
Okay. And what about in August of 2023? What were your general working hours during that time?
Definitely worked the weekend. I for sure always taught every weekend. Every Saturday was the main day. That there was a lot of people and there we had to go.
Okay.
All the employees had to be there.
And what was your general duties there when you were working there in August of 2023?
I was a parking attendant, and after close down parking, I would go inside and I would do portering.
Okay. And what does a porter do?
I pick up empty bottles and throw them away. Or once it's past time for there to be no more alcohol, we'll go and tell people it's time to throw their alcohol away and
Okay.
and
So there's like several porters doing that at a last call. So there's you and other porters that are actually going out to collect the alcohol.
if we have some hired at the time, yes, or security will go around also to help us.
And I want to turn your attention back to it was the night was August 19th and into the early mornings of August 20th, but we're really talking about the early hours of August 20th. So like around 2 o'clock in the morning at last call. On that day, what were you doing in the bar? You'd already finished your parking, correct? And you had gone in to begin doing the porter work. And tell me about last call on that day when the fight broke out.
I was going around and with the security officer with Anthony, and we were throwing away empty bottles and telling people that it was time to throw their alcohol drinks away, and people would have to throw it away.
Okay. And at some point, did you become aware of a disturbance that occurred?
Yes. Anthony told a security guard. He took one guy that it was past time for his drink and he had to throw it away, and then he refused, and he jerked back away, and Anthony tried to reach for it, and then they began to argue over the drink, and then they began tussling over it.
Was Anthony called over there, or was he there when they first to get the drink from the gentleman?
No, we were walking together
Okay.
to go around, throw away drinks. So he was already there. He was just another person that were telling that it was past time and they needed to throw their drinks away.
And at some point, did they get in kind of a tug of war over the drink?
Yes, and then it led to the dance floor, like deeper into the dance floor, and then the guy's friends went and they all jumped on Anthony.
Okay. And to be fair, you didn't know who this person was. You didn't know his name or who this person was that was not giving up their beer. Is that fair to say?
No, I don't know him.
If his name is Pablo Rodriguez, if he testified that he had one extra drink and threw it away, is that accurate?
No, he didn't throw it away because he was fighting with Anthony, the security guard, over the drink.
Okay. And at some point when he started to struggle with Anthony over the drink, what happened after that? I mean, what did that man do after that?
They started struggling over the drink and it led deeper into the dance floor. And then they went around some people. And so I couldn't really see right away. But then the guy's friends went to go help. But once I did get around the people, because there's usually a lot of people in there, so it's hard to get around or see very well. But once I got around the people and I saw them, I saw all I could see was Anthony's legs sticking out, and he had 3 guys on top of him.
Okay, so Anthony was on the ground and there were 3 men on top of him. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And at that time, do you know if Anthony had a gun on him?
Yeah, he carries a gun. He's a security guard that carries a gun.
And did you feel it was a dangerous situation for Anthony, who's armed, to be on the ground with 3 men on top of him?
Objection, speculation, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Well, I mean, he can talk if that was one of his concerns. Was it one of your concerns?
Objection, speculation, Your Honor.
No, it's his personal feelings.
The objection will be overruled.
Did you have concern about that?
About him being on the ground?
With the gun? Yeah.
With the gun. Just him being on the ground with 3 guys on top of him, I had a lot of concern for him, just his safety and everything, yeah.
And these 3 guys, what were they doing to Anthony?
I couldn't really see what they were what they were doing to him because they were on top of him. All I could see was his legs sticking out. So
Okay.
I went over there to try to help him.
And what did you do to try to help him?
I was trying to get that guy's friends back, and I was trying to keep them back, and I was trying to let Anthony, the security guard, and that one guy have their their one-on-one rather than him having all these people jump on him.
Okay.
So I was trying to keep that guy's friends all back
Were you-
from.
Were you able to do that?
I was trying, and me and my coworker, we were both trying to keep them back, but they kept pushing through us and going around us and jumping on Anthony once again and all teaming up on him. And this went on for a while.
It went on for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then there was a female involved as well. Can you tell me what she was doing?
She wasn't jumping on Anthony at that time, at least that I saw, but she was like she was trying to push us because we're trying to keep the other guys back. So she was pushing us and yelling, and she was yelling at us and stuff.
And she laid hands on you?
Yeah, she pushed me a few times. Okay. Because I was trying to keep the other guys back away. But I didn't touch her at all. I just let her push me. I was mainly focused on the men, but I mean, I am a small guy. I'm only 130 pounds, so I can, people can push me around.
And who was your coworker that was trying to help keep these people off of Anthony?
My coworker was Calvin. He was also another porter, and we were both trying to keep the guy's friend back.
At some time, did you see that Calvin had gotten knocked down?
I didn't see him get knocked down, but he was trying to help. But at one time, eventually he did get hurt, and he couldn't help anymore.
Okay, and then just kind of on a scale, okay? So when we're talking about this fight that's going on, okay, 10 is full WWE melee where it's just carnage, everybody's fighting like crazy, it's life or death struggle, and 1 is just a little touch. Where are we at in this spectrum of the intensity of this fight that was going on?
It was like a wrestling match, they were going at it. They're wrestling back and forth. They were on the ground, back up to their feet, back on the ground. They were all jumping on Anthony, the security guard again, and then we were trying to help him, and he'll get back to his feet, and then they were all jumping on him again.
And would you consider this an intense fight that was going on?
I mean, they were all teaming up on him, so I thought it definitely wasn't fair. So that's why I was trying to keep the guy's friends back and let him just have his one-on-one with the main guy.
And were you concerned for Anthony's safety?
Yes, especially when he had, the times when we couldn't help him because they were overpowering us and they were all just on top of him or just like, dragging him around or whatever, slamming him and stuff.
Were you concerned for your safety?
Well, kind of. I thought maybe they would start trying to hit me or something. I was concerned for my safety, but they were mostly focused on Anthony. It seemed like for some reason they were just kept trying to go after him.
And at some point, JR comes over to help. Is that correct?
Yes.
And tell me, what does JR do that you saw?
Like, at later on in the fight, my coworker, Calvin was hurt. I was tired, and once again, Anthony was on the floor, and he had all 3 of the guys on top of him, and I was looking around for help because none of the other security guards had came yet, and then that's when JR and another security guard showed up, and they got the guy, and they picked him up, and the guy's friends when they showed up, the guy's friends backed off and they got the main guy and they picked him up and the security guard walked him out.
And so did you believe that JR's purpose was trying to stop this fight from occurring?
Check speculation on.
Sustained.
Yes, definitely.
Excuse me.
That's fine.
I sustained the objection. You're not allowed to answer.
Yeah, if there's ever an objection, she'll just, if one of us says objection, just wait. And then she'll make a ruling, and then if we're allowed to ask a question, we'll just ask it again. Okay. And after the fight, did you see that Anthony was injured at all?
Yes, he was pretty injured and exhausted. And he had been back and forth, hitting the floor, and he said one of the guys had a.
Don't tell me what someone else said, okay? We can't talk about what other people say. That's what we call hearsay. So you don't need to say that.
Well, he had his hat and his baton and his radio missing, so we're trying to help him find this stuff afterwards.
Were you able to find any of his stuff?
No, didn't find none of his stuff.
And did you see who ripped his radio off?
I saw him at one point during the whole wrestling match having a tug of war over his radio with the main guy that he first asked to throw the drink away.
And what about Calvin? Did you see that Calvin was injured after the fight?
Yes, he was.
Can you describe what injuries Calvin had?
I'm not too sure exactly.
Okay.
I just know that he said he was hurt.
Okay. And it was clear to you that from observing him that he was in pain?
Yeah, I think his back or his shoulder or something like that.
I'll pass witness.
Great state.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your full name. Was it Christopher Villanueva?
Christopher Villanueva.
Okay. And what's your date of birth, sir?
It's May 25, 87.
I'm sorry, can you just move that microphone a little bit closer, if you don't mind? I'm sort of hard of hearing, so if you don't mind, if you just gonna this one right here. Yeah, so you can move it closer to me if you like. That way I can hear. Now you stated, I think earlier that you worked at Joe's Volcano for a number of years, is that correct?
Since 2021.
2021. And so you know Moreno Rendon,
Yes, sir.
JR. You just have to answer out loud, sir. Sorry.
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry.
And I mean, you worked for him that whole time, is that right?
Yes, sir. For him and Esmeralda and the family.
His wife, right?
Yes.
Okay. And they're the ones that run Joe's Volcano. Since then, it's closed down about a month ago, we heard. Is that right?
Yes, I was working there up until March, the end of March, I believe. Yeah.
And we heard also with testimony that it's going to reopen at Randy's Ballroom, right?
Possibly. I don't know all the facts of everything.
I'm sorry?
But I don't know like all the facts on that and everything, but I'm hoping so.
You're hoping so?
Hopefully, I don't know.
I mean, because you would probably go work there again.
Possibly.
And so let's talk about this night. I mean, Mr. Lucas was asking you some questions about, like, say, injuries. And in the description you gave of this fight of up and down, and then you spoke about three guys on top of Anthony. And how were they on top of it? Like they were all like packed on top of each other? Like, or some on his head, some on his feet? How were they on top of him?
Yeah, like on the side, the head, the shoulder, like all I could see is legs. And the first time that they were all on top of him, but it happened, several times,
Okay.
as it went on.
And so, I mean, this was, as you said, and tell me if I'm wrong, this was an intense fight.
Well, it was a wrestling match, I would say mostly.
Wrestling mostly? So
There
no,
was a-
there was no punching.
I didn't see punching, but
So this whole time you're there, and you're there from the beginning of this fight to the end of the fight, you saw no punching.
well, there was times when they were all on top of him. I couldn't see what they were doing to him, you know.
I'm
And
sorry.
there was times that they were all on top of him, and I couldn't see what they were doing to him. So I was really worried about his safety and what they were doing to him. And I heard that he got punched, you know.
You heard that.
Well, that's what he said, but
Who said that?
Anthony said that they
Anthony
punched
said that.
him.
I mean, you spoke to Anthony after this fight, right?
Yes.
You
well,
spoke to Anthony recently, haven't you?
No, not well. Right after the fight happened, I was helping him look for his stuff.
So you talked to him right after, then you never talked to him again.
Well, yeah, he worked there still for a while, and I talked to him a little bit, you know.
Okay.
But you know, right after the everything happened, I was helping him look for his stuff, and he was exhausted, he was tired, he was hurt, and you know, from hitting the floor so many times and people pushing him and pulling him and getting on top of him and you know, grabbing him, all that stuff. And he had said that, you know, he got punched in the face and also, so you
So
know,
wait, you just said he got punched in the face.
that's what Anthony said.
Okay, but again, you didn't see any punching the whole time.
I didn't see it.
Okay, you just
It was-
heard that
it-
from somebody else.
It was more like from what I saw, it looked more like a big wrestling match. You know?
So just a wrestling match you saw. Now, and you testified that you're fearful of his safety, is that right?
Yeah, well, yes, when you have three guys on top of you and he was laid flat on the floor and all I could see his legs, so you know, I was worried about what they were doing to him, what was happening.
You try to help out, but you said you're a small guy, you're about my size, not that big, right?
I'm not very big, I'm 130 pounds.
Yeah. Probably a little heavier, but the fact is that you stood by and watched the whole thing happen, though, right?
I was trying to keep the guys' friends away, but they kept powering through, you know, and I tried, you know, but they kept, you know, powering through and getting around me and continued to jump on Anthony, the security guard.
All these guys are just beating on and jumping on and wrestling and tugging and pushing Anthony the whole time. We got that. That's what your testimony would be, right? Is that correct?
Say it again.
All these guys, three, was there more than three? Was there five? How many?
What I remember is 3 guys and 1 girl. That's from what I remember, but
Okay, so
I
3
mean,
guys and 1 girl.
there was a lot of people around, you know.
So there's a lot of people around.
Well, it's a
can we
club, there's a
approach
lot of
briefly?
people in the club, you know.
Yes. I guess let me just I want to clarify this. So you're saying 3 guys and a girl were involved in this, and that's it.
From what I remember.
What you remember. And look, all I want is what you remember, okay?
Yes,
Not what
sir.
somebody else told you, but what you remember. Because, I mean, to be fair, you spoke with Anthony Cochran, which is the security guard, after this happened, right?
A little bit.
Okay, and then you also spoke with Mariano Rendon, the defendant in this case, about this after it happened, right?
Well, I kept working there, but we didn't speak too much about it. Like, you know, I would only see him at work, you know, and then we were always real busy at work.
Okay, so I guess my question is, you never spoke to JR about this this incident at all?
Little bit, but not like a lot, not really. I didn't even know that there was still like, this was still an issue. I mean, it happened so long ago, you know.
Okay,
I don't,
all right. So through all this incident that happens, is what we call, let's just call it a fight. You state that you were standing there, at least trying to help, or at least watching everything that happened.
I was trying to keep the guy's friends back.
But off of Anthony, right?
Yes,
So you, during this whole fight, you were focused on Anthony, is that correct?
I was trying to keep that guy's friends back.
And I understand that, sir. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
That's what me and my coworker were doing, just trying to keep the guy's friends back as much as we could. But, you know, there was times we were able to a little bit, but there was times they got through us, you know, and it wasn't until, you know, later on that JR and another security guard came to help. And you know, I felt very relieved because I was very worried about, you know, Anthony and what was going to happen to him, or, you know.
Okay. Okay. And you say this went on for a while. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How long? Like 5 minutes?
I don't know. I don't know how long. It just went on for a while, you know.
So you don't know a time limit?
I'm not sure,
You said,
sir.
I'm sorry, you just have to answer out loud for the
Oh.
court reporter, okay?
I don't know exact time limit, sir. I just know it went on for a good while to where I was tired, you know, and trying to hold people back and, you know.
And so, again, my question simply is, during this whole time that this fight is happening, you're focused on Anthony because you were worried about his safety.
I was worried about Anthony's safety.
So that's a yes?
I was worried about Anthony's safety, but also worried about, I guess, everybody else's safety if they got a hold of his gun or something, because he did have a gun on him. You know, and he was a security guard and he was only by himself, you know. And I was wondering where all the rest of the security guards were, you know, and why he was by himself having, you know, all these guys, you know, team up on him.
Okay. So when you saw JR arrive, that's your boss, right?
It's my boss, yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when he arrives, he starts pushing people around, is that right?
No, he just went, him and the security guard went and they got the guy and they picked him up, but the guy's friends backed off once they came. So they just got that one guy and picked him up, and then the security guard walked him out.
So again, you're watching JR there, and they get all the friends back, the other security guards there, Anthony's there. Is this when Anthony is on top of that guy?
Anthony was on the floor and he had 3 guys on top of him when JR showed up with the other security guard.
Okay, let's talk about right after that.
Me and my coworker were standing there looking around for help. My coworker's hurt, you know, I was tired, you know, we were looking around for help, and you know, Anthony's on the floor. He's got 3 guys on top of him. That's when JR and another security guard show up.
Okay, and I'm not gonna interrupt you anymore. But what I'm gonna ask you is, if you just answer my question, okay? My question is, after the 3 guys that you say were on top of Anthony were removed, they were taken off, right? And pushed to the side, is that right?
No, well, when JR and security guard came, they got the guy, the main guy, and the guy's friends backed off. When they saw JR and security guard show up, the guy's friends, they backed up.
Backed away. Where was that guy?
The guys, at least. The girl, she wanted to argue and yell at everybody and stuff. And then the guys, they came back too, I believe, and started arguing too and stuff. So they backed up for a second, but then they came back to argue and this and that, you know.
Again. When the people were backed off, where was Anthony?
Well, he had 3 guys on top of him, and Jar showed up, got the one guy to pick him up, and then that's when the guy's friends started to back off, and then Anthony was getting back to his feet.
Okay, so. When JR shows up, people back off. They pick up the guy right away and escort him out.
He showed up, JR showed up with another security guard, and they picked the guy up, and the security guard walked him out.
And you stood there the whole time and watched all that.
Yes.
So when was it that you saw this man over here use both knees and jump into the man on the ground's stomach? When did you see that?
I didn't see
You
that.
didn't see that, but you were there the whole time.
I was there, but I mean, can only, see so much. I don't know.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna show you
didn't,
what's
I didn't,
I'm
I
gonna show you
didn't.
what's Mark State Exhibit number 2. And that's what can you look into the big screen up there? It might be easier for you to see. I know that one has a glare down there. This is already in evidence. I'm gonna go ahead and play it for you, okay? Okay, where are you at?
I don't know. I can't even barely see what's going on in there.
I'm sorry, you gotta speak up and.
I don't know. I can't barely see what's going on in there.
Okay, Your Honor, we may have to, I'm gonna play it again for him since. We're gonna play it one more time for you, sir. Go ahead and take a look at it. Who's on the ground?
It's probably Anthony and the guy.
Where are the other people?
Well, where's the rest of the video?
Well, I'll play the rest of the video, but I'm just asking you.
All the video, everything that happened before that.
This is the only video we have. Is there other videos?
Well, why wouldn't y'all show the whole video of when they were all jumping on him before?
Have you seen that video?
Well, obviously they're not showing it.
No, I'm asking you. Have you seen that video?
It would be before this.
I'm asking you. Have you seen a video of everybody
I
jumping on
haven't
him?
seen any videos.
Sorry?
I haven't seen any videos.
You haven't seen
This is
any
my
videos?
first time watching this.
Okay. Where are you at? Where are you standing at when this is going on?
I'm not sure, sir. I can't really see everybody that's there, but I'm sure I'm around there, standing around
Okay.
somewhere.
We'll go ahead and play the rest of it for you, okay? Who's that to the right?
Okay,
I'm sorry?
that's probably me, but you can't really tell.
It's probably you.
Can't really see who it is or anybody is really.
But that's what you were wearing that night. Is that right?
Possibly.
Possibly. What's in Mark State Exhibit number 21? Who's that?
Can I just move so I can see what
Sure.
they're showing?
Who's this right
It looks like me. But if I didn't see everything that happened, like I didn't see what you're trying to tell me that I saw. I mean, if I didn't see it, I didn't see it, I'm telling you what I saw and what I didn't see.
But that's you standing in the video, instead exhibit number 2, isn't that correct?
Probably. You can't tell, you can't see
Okay.
who that is in the video.
Okay. And you stated after this, oh, Judge, we're gonna ask interstate exhibit number 21, Senator defense.
No objection.
All right, states exhibit number 21 is admitted without objection.
Hey, I just publish it, I'll hand it to you.
Well, can I see
Publish it.
what you're showing me?
Publish it, yes. State exhibit number 21, yes, sir.
Just in the entrance door or the exit door?
That's correct. In fact, this is the entrance of,
Standing. That's the entrance, the exit, they're right next to each other.
right, of Joe's Volcano. That night.
Okay.
You have your arm outreached. Why do you have your arm outreached? Do you know?
Huh? I'm probably opening the door for somebody, I don't know.
What if I asked you, well, let me ask you this. Did you hand anything back to Anthony Cochran?
And anything to him?
You didn't hand his badge back to him?
Not that I remember.
Now, did you talk to Anthony like you stated previously?
Not previously. I mean, not recently.
Not recently, but that night, you said that he was really just worn out or something after this fight. Is that right?
He was worn out.
Yes.
He was tired. He was hurt.
And you stated that, you try to help him find stuff. Is that right? Like his radio, because you said that his radio was being tugged on. And a tug of war was over his radio also. Do you remember that?
I said that at one point I seen him having a tug of war over his radio with
Right.
the main guy. And after the end of everything, not only me but everybody, the coworkers, we were all trying to help Anthony find his stuff.
Okay.
He was missing a baton, he was missing his radio, and he was missing his hat, his own personal, like a cowboy hat. I guess it was expensive, I'm not sure, but he seemed pretty upset about it.
So do you remember finding something of his or giving it back to him? Because earlier you said you didn't find anything.
I don't remember. Where's Anthony? Is that
I'm just asking you, is that you?
Again, I moved it. See the exhibit?
Yes, you can move around.
well, why don't you show everybody what you're showing me?
I'm asking you, is that you?
Well, I
Yes or
think
no?
you should show everybody what you're showing me.
Just asking, is this you?
It's just a person standing there at the exit door with their hand out holding something. But whether I was given that, I don't know who was given that.
If you can just answer my question, is that you?
Well, I think you should show it to everybody.
Again, I'll try to ask one more time. Is this you?
Well, show everybody what you want me to show.
Judge Kim,
Yes, excuse me, sir. Questions are being asked. You need to answer the question. Do you understand?
I understand.
Do you understand the last question?
I understand it's
All right, state, ask your question again and you will answer the question. Do you understand?
just this
on
person
this- on-
standing there holding something
Is
at the
that
exit door.
you?
It looks like me.
That's good enough. Here, I'm gonna play this video for you.
Okay,
Pause this video.
but does that mean that, what does that mean that, I don't know what time that was, I mean, when I was giving that to him?
All right,
don't
ladies
know.
and gentlemen, I'm gonna have you step outside just for a few minutes and I'll just have you in the hallway. Please remember my previous instructions.
Okay, one second.
All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, I'm going to explain something to you and I want you to internalize what I'm saying and listen to what I'm saying. Do you understand?
Okay,
You need to say yes or no. Do you understand?
you want me to listen to you?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So this is the way the legal process works. Sometimes maybe people don't understand the legal process because maybe this is your first time being a witness. I don't know. But this is what's going to end up happening. The defense will ask you questions. You will answer his questions. That's Mr. Bloomquist. The state is currently asking you questions. That's Mr. Garehand. You're going to listen to the question and you're going to answer the question that's asked of you. Do you understand? There is not to be any of this, well, why don't you show the jury? Well, why don't you do that? Because that question has not been asked of you. Do you understand? So you're going to answer the questions that are asked of you. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right, let's bring the jurors back in. All right, so we're going to take 5 minutes, everyone.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, everyone, please be seated. State, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just, I'm gonna show you a small portion of this. And I'll again ask you, one, is this you?
Okay, it looks like he's handing Anthony a badge, but I don't know what day this is. I don't know what time this is. I mean, you're showing me a video. I mean, I was there like almost 4 years, and this could be any time.
Okay.
I don't know where you're getting this video.
You're
I don't
saying
know.
that you don't know if this is the night that this incident happened. Is that what you're saying?
This is an entrance, this is the video of the entrance door,
Okay. But
of the
your,
exit
your
entrance.
testimony is you don't know if this is the
I
night
don't
that
know
happened.
I don't know what this video, this is the same video, I don't know. From the same day or the same night, I don't know. But what does it matter if I'm handing him a badge? I mean, what is that
Excuse me,
supposed
sir.
Yeah, just respond, please.
I guess,
Are to listen to the questions that are being asked of you and answer those questions. Do you understand? You may proceed.
the reason I'm asking you that question is that you stated in early testimony that Anthony Cochran had lost several items and none of these items were returned to him and you couldn't find any of those items. That's why I'm asking you that question, sir.
I
But
said,
in this video, you are handing him a badge to Anthony Cochran on the doorstep of the exit of Joe's Volcano. Is that accurate?
I said he lost a hat, baton, and a radio that we were looking for. A badge, I don't remember a badge, but it's possible. I mean, it could have been his badge too. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a main thing that I remember looking for, The main thing I remember looking for was his hat, his baton, and his radio.
Now let's, in reference to state exhibit number 2, the video that we have watched and the jury, it's in evidence. That is you standing there watching everything unfold. Is that correct?
I don't know. Can't see who that is in that video.
Who else would that be?
I don't know. There's a lot of people in that club.
We're gonna play state exhibit number 2. Is that, sir?
I don't know.
You don't know what that is?
No, sir.
It looks like a hat, doesn't it?
Possibly. Could be anybody's hat. A lot of people wear hats in there.
So is it a hat or not a hat?
Possibly. I don't know. I can't tell what it is.
And what's next to the hat? It looks like a radio to me. What does it look like to
Again,
you?
objection, objection, he's calls for speculation. He's testified he doesn't know.
All right, with regards to that objection, it will be overruled.
Does that look like a radio to you or not?
I don't know.
Person still on the ground, is that right?
I don't know. I can't see.
Can't see it. I mean, but you said that when JR got there, Everybody moved back. They picked up the guy and took him straight outside. Is that right?
Say it again.
You're saying that when JL got there with the other security guard, everybody got moved back. Anthony and the other security guards picked the guy up and they walked him outside. That's what your testimony was. Is that
I
correct?
said when JR got there with another security guard, that Anthony was on the floor, had 3 guys on top of him. This is not a video of when JR first got there. This is already a little bit after. That's what I'm saying. Where's the rest of the video? And where's all the video that's of when they were all jumping on Anthony? And you know, they edited the video. They're only showing you the end part.
So when JR got there, you're there, right?
When JR got there with the security guard, Anthony was on the floor with 3 guys on top of him. That I remember
Okay,
that correctly.
so. You're there when JR arrives. You stay at this incident, this fight, you're watching it the whole time. Correct?
I'm an objection asked and answered.
Overruled.
You can answer the question, sir.
I was there with Anthony when it started, and I was there to the end, but I mean I didn't see everything. I mean there's a lot of people. I mean, and plus I was trying to keep the guy's friends back from jumping on Anthony, so I mean I didn't want to turn my back to them. So there's a lot of things I saw, a lot of things I missed. I can't see everything.
I agree with that, and I understand that, and I'm not trying to make you see everything. I'm just trying to find out for this jury what you actually saw.
I'm telling you
Because
what I
you
saw.
testified earlier that somebody told you there was a punch, but you didn't see any punches. And then also, you're talking about people jumping on people, but in this video, you only see one person jump on anybody. You saw JR jump with both knees into the victim's stomach. Did you see that on that video?
I'm telling you, this is not the rest of the video. There's a lot of video that's before this that you're not showing.
Thank you for that. However, I'm asking you a different question. Did you see JR with his knees jump into the victim's stomach? Yes or no, sir?
I didn't
Just a yes or
see
no.
I didn't see nobody knee anybody or anybody hit anybody.
State exhibit number 2. Watch it one more time, sir. Please just watch it and tell me if you see JR with his knees into the victim's
I'm telling
stomach.
you what I saw that night.
I'm asking you what, I'm asking you if you see it on the video.
Why do I need to watch a video when I was there
I
that night?
object, Your Honor. Whether what he sees in the video speaks for himself. He's testifying about what he saw that night. What he sees in the video, what anybody sees in the video speaks for itself.
All right, that objection is overruled.
We're gonna we'll play state exhibit number 2 for you one more time, sir. Please pay attention here. Okay. Question is, did you see JR with both his knees go into the stomach of that person laying on the ground? Yes or no, sir?
I'm telling you what I saw that night, and I didn't see nobody knee anybody. And that's what I'm sticking to. So I'm only telling you what I saw that night,
I understand. Thank you.
not what I seen anywhere else. What is this?
I'm asking you to look at it. Sir. This is you, correct? This is a judgment on your case where you were convicted. Do you recall that?
What do I have to do with anything?
I'm just asking you, when you convicted of an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, that happened in 2010, and you were convicted
2010.
right here, sir. The offense date is May 27th, 2010. And you were convicted on January 30th, 2012? Do you recall that?
Of an assault.
Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
I think they dropped the weapon or the ag or something. It was, I don't know.
You see what it says on here, is that correct?
But I do have an assault charge from 2010, but I mean,
And-
so what?
Did you serve time for that, sir?
I served time.
How many years?
I did 4 years and I got out on parole. And I completed my parole and I,
That is correct.
you know, I
You are a convicted felon, is that right?
from a long time ago. It's been what, 15 years? I don't know.
And let me ask you, sir. The radio tug of war that you stated, that didn't really happen, did it?
It's what I saw. I saw Anthony and the guy having a tug of war over his radio at one point.
So your testimony is there's a tug of war over a beer bottle, there's a tug of war over a radio, and that the security guard had a gun on him, but there was no tug of war over the gun, right?
Not that I saw.
Not that you saw. But you didn't see any person's hand on that gun, did you?
I didn't see that, but like I said, he's had 3 guys on top of him at one time. I couldn't see what they were doing to him.
But again, my question
And
is
I
that you
didn't see everything. You know, anything could have happened that I missed, you know. I turned my back and a lot of times, you know, there was a lot of people in there.
And you stated that Anthony was, I mean, after this fight, you said, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, that Anthony, was he hurt?
He seemed hurt.
Where at?
Well, he was tired and, you know, like limping a little bit. And he said he had been hit in the face, punched in the face.
He said that.
That's what he said.
Okay. But you talked to him that night. You saw him after the fight, right?
I saw him after everything,
And he was walking around.
walking around. He was
Walking, obviously, through the
exhausted, seemed
entrance of-
kind of hurt, but he was like, okay, I guess he was still alive. Everybody else still alive. Thank God.
So everybody's alive, thank God.
I don't know.
You're aware, though, in this case, it's aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury of an individual. You're aware of the charges. Do you understand that?
I don't know everything about this case.
So you're not aware that the person that was kneed in the stomach, And-
Objection relevance. He's here to testify about what he saw that night.
All right,
His knowledge of everything else.
let me hear
is-
the question and then I'll hear
All
your objection and make a ruling.
that an individual was kneed in the stomach and there was tears in his large intestines.
All right, so just one moment before you answer that.
Again, my objection is his knowledge of the case outside of what he saw that night is irrelevant.
All right, the objection will be sustained.
Did you see the named victim in this case after everything happened?
Can you say it again?
Did you see the person that was on the ground in this video? Did you see him after this fight, this incident?
The one that was fighting with Anthony?
Mm-hmm.
Did I see him after? Not really. I mean, I don't know. I just saw him, you know, get up, get walked out by the security guard, and I never saw him again after that. I don't know.
You never testified earlier that Anthony was ever on top of the person. You never testified to that.
Possibly, I don't know. There was it was a wrestling match that went on for quite a while. Sometimes you know, they were rolling around the floor and you know, I don't know. I mean,
Possibly.
I mean it you know, it's a wrestling match, you know, they're rolling around. I mean, sometimes one person might be on top, sometimes another person might be on top. But the thing is that it was 3 guys on 1 security guard, and you know, and it was really unfair, you know. It was unfair for Anthony.
Who is on top of that guy?
Can't see who that is, but this is at the end of the video. I mean, this is at the end of the incident.
So this is at the end, right? So.
Probably if JR is there, because JR
Under
come-
control at
came
that time,
towards
is
the
that
end.
right?
Not, well, obviously it's still kind of going on a little bit.
Okay,
It's not all the way under control.
there's one guy on top of another guy in this video, is that right?
That's what it looks like.
You're standing there watching it, JR's there, right? Correct?
I'm around there. I don't know if I'm watching that exactly at that moment. I don't know. I could be looking somewhere else. I mean, I can't see everything.
I understand that. So, and then JR, this is when JR then knees the guy in the stomach, correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. You saw the video though, correct?
I'm only telling what I seen that night,
Okay.
and I didn't see anybody knee anybody.
We'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right.
And to be fair, this happened in August 20th of 2023. Is it your memory probably back in August of 2023 would have been better than it is today? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, so it was a long time ago.
Okay, may I approach?
Yes.
You did see Anthony that night, correct? Let me show some photos of Anthony. I'm going to show you defendant's exhibit, what's been marked as defendant's exhibit 4 and 5. Do you recognize the person in the photograph?
That's Anthony.
Okay, and is that how Anthony appeared on the night of August 20th of 2023?
Yes, I remember he had said he got hit in the face. I remember his cheek was red, and I didn't see clearly everything that happened,
But that appears to be the way that he looked when you saw him on that evening, correct?
yeah,
And that's an
He
accurate
had a-
representation of him.
he had a mark, and
All right. Your Honor, at this time, I'll tender defendant's exhibit 4 and 5 to the state and move to admit defendant's exhibit 4 and 5.
No objection from the state, Your Honor.
All right, state's exhibit, I'm sorry, defense exhibits 4 and 5 are
May I
admitted.
pose to the jury, Your Honor?
Yes.
Now, you didn't see Anthony like remove any of his clothing or see some of the other injuries he may have had. Is that fair to say?
I didn't see him remove any clothing.
Okay. But it's possible he may have had other injuries that are underneath his clothing that you didn't see. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I'm sure possibly, and he would have probably had a few.
And I'll pass the witness at this time.
Hey, what's Mark, say exhibit number 23. Who's that? That's Anthony, correct?
Looks like Anthony.
Right?
It's half his face,
That looks like his face, right?
half his face.
Half his face. Where are the injuries?
His chest, and he covering his stomach. But that's only his front part, could be some of his back, I don't know, or his shoulder.
There's another picture of Anthony, state exhibit number 24. Where's the injuries on his arm? You see some
I
injuries?
see little red marks, but I mean, not like a big injury. His elbow is pretty red,
And you
probably
testified,
from hitting the ground a few
Um,
times.
and you testified earlier that he would have several probably injuries underneath his clothing. So is this what you're talking about?
I said possibly, I mean, I don't know, I didn't see him remove his clothing that night.
Judge, we're off to state exhibit number 23 and 24, tended to defense for any objection.
I have no objection to those exhibits.
All right, state's exhibit 23 and 24 are admitted without
Any
objection.
Published to the jury, Your Honor.
Yes.
You didn't see many injuries in those photo videos,
Just marks,
smart, but injuries.
not like big injuries, but marks. But I mean, I'm not a doctor, I don't know, and I didn't check them that night.
Like for internal injuries, you don't know if there's any internal injuries, right?
I don't know how injured he was. I mean, you would have to ask him, or he would have to get checked out.
But he went to work after this. You saw him for months after this. Is that correct? You testified earlier that you did, so.
For I don't know how long, but he did continue work for a while afterwards. But I don't know. I mean, we mainly only worked 1 day a week, so he might have, you know, had the whole week to feel a little better to come back next Saturday, you know. I don't know. I can't remember exactly if he was there the following Saturday or maybe he missed one. I don't remember exactly.
He
But
wasn't in the hospital for 25 days, was he?
not that I know of, sir.
Okay, thank you. Fast witness, John.
May I approach?
Yes.
Any objection?
No. No objections. I'm sorry. I don't know what the exhibits are.
Judge, we're moving to admit defense exhibits 6, 7, and 8.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, defense exhibit 6, 7, and 8
And
are
who's the person?
are admitted without objection.
I'm sorry, Judge.
No problem.
I gotta let you do your business. I'm sorry. States exhibit 6, who's the person in that person? Or defendant's exhibit 6, who's the person in that photograph?
Looks like Anthony.
Okay, and do you see a red mark on his chest?
Yes, and his stomach a little bit.
And the same, it's another version of the same photograph in defense exhibit 7. And I'm gonna see his leg, and he's lifted up his pant leg. And
His knee
his
or
knee.
something.
You see like a large red mark on his knee.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, may I publish to the jury, Your Honor?
Yes.
And that looks like somebody to you that's been in a fight, is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. The people that work at El Volcan, do you guys have kind of like a uniform that you wear, or do you have like some clothing guidelines that you wear?
We have El Volcan shirts. Well, the security has their own uniform, and
Right.
you know, other people have
But
their shirts.
pretty much everyone that works there, all the porters, they wear black shorts. Is that correct? I mean, as
Usually
far as
they're-
the porters, let me just get to the porters. The porters, what do they wear?
usually they're dressed in black,
Okay.
but I guess depending on if it's the season or whether they'll be in pants or shorts.
Okay. And usually they wear black pants or black shorts.
Usually.
I'll pass the witness. I have nothing further.
No further questions of this witness, Your Honor, but we would like to possible recall.
All right, the rule has been invoked. What that means is you're not allowed to discuss your testimony with anyone except for attorneys for the state of the defense. Make sure you're available if either party wishes to recall you. If you'll remove your microphone, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna give you your lunch break now. And I'm gonna have you all back here at 2:15 because I do have some matters to take care of from this morning. Remember my previous instructions about not viewing anything about this trial or discussing anything about, oh, he's like, yeah, we all remember. You all remember my instructions? And you all are following those instructions. All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors. 2:15. And counsel, if you come forward. Oh, I'm sorry, not you all. Sorry behind you.
Other counsel. Oh, sorry.
Your client needs to. And can you bring the female out, please? And Deputy Laura, we're gonna take up this one case.
What time do you need us back then? You said?
2:15.
All right, we'll be here before then.
Oh, and if you all will make sure you leave your microphones behind so that she can charge them if they need to be charged.
Oh, right here.
And then Cindy, we're just gonna take up this one person, then we're gonna go on our break. And even though I had everyone to say come back at 1:30, we'll be back at 1:45 for the morning docket. And I think that'll give us time for everybody to have their lunch break.
It's like a 4 to 11.
Well.
Oh, you're just telling me. I don't think like right now.
No.
Oh,
Probably
sorry.
around June.
Okay.
All right, Cindy, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 001353, State versus Jessica Alcazar. Can I have parties announced?
Andrew Harris, Adelman for the state.
Samuel Lyles for defense.
And are you Miss Alcazar?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Alcazar, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we're proceeding on the lesser included of robbery.
Any objections?
No objection.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the less included offense of robbery? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state would call in the right to remain silent. By entering that plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked? The court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Alcazar, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the less included offense of robbery, and they're recommending deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you, outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years and there be no contact with the complainant. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense, the lesser included offense of robbery, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contact.
State, any evidence?
State offers exhibit 1 and attachments, Judge.
No objection, Your Honor.
State, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, the only thing I want to bring up is while she's been in custody, she has completed several classes. She has the certificates if the court would like to entertain those.
Okay, what does she have? Oh, you can just tell me.
Oh, okay.
Judge, she's completed a behavioral approach class, a transitional life planning and civics course, anger management, which I believe she actually did twice. But this one's titled "The Change Companies: My Healthy Relationships," and trauma and life course.
Okay,
And that's the total list, Judge.
all right. I have a few questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So where's your husband?
Incarcerated, I heard.
All right, for what?
Drugs, I think they said. I'm not sure.
All right, so this is the reason why I asked this question, because in the police report, it says that you went to the victim and you wanted your bicycle back, and she's telling you that she didn't steal your bicycle, that your husband gave it to her. Why didn't you just go ask your husband, hey, did you give this person my bicycle?
Because, the reason I knew she had the bicycle was because he's the one that had told me.
No. My question
Oh,
is,
sorry.
did you go back to him and say, hey, she's telling me that you gave her this bicycle. Did you give it to her?
I did not,
Why not?
because I seen her first. That's what happened.
Well, no, I mean, you know, your husband, you're saying he's incarcerated
Well, he
for
just got
drugs.
incarcerated, from what I know, a month already.
Okay, but here's the thing. You have to know that your husband, if you all are living together, you have to know that he has a drug issue.
Yes.
So usually when people have drug addictions, they tend to give stuff away and sell it. So I don't understand why, knowing that your husband has drug issues and you have this lady saying he gave me the bike, who knows what was exchanged for his giving her the bike. But you know all of this. All you had to do was go to him and say, did you give her my bike? Instead of doing this.
Exactly. I didn't think.
Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
I have 5, but they're all grown, but my youngest is 18.
All right. And do you have any grandchildren?
2.
And what are their ages?
5 and 8.
All right. And when's the last time you had employment?
I'm currently on disability.
For what?
Well, I get retirement and spousal support from my husband.
All right. Now, what's the disability for?
The disability is from my trauma that I have from growing up as a child. So
Okay. And has Child Protective Services ever been involved in your life?
years ago, years.
And what was the reason behind that?
For that?
Okay. All right. Have you ever used any type of drugs?
That's prescribed, whatever.
Prescribed? All right. Have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues?
Yes, I have.
All right. So what is your prescribed medication
It's
for?
for, I have suffered from bipolar depression too.
Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication.
Mhm.
There's to be no contact with the complainant. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment or disability within 45 days of release, no employment as a home health care provider or minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. There's going to be 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to require parenting classes since she has grandchildren. Once that's completed, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. I'm going to want a MIC evaluation. What's the time frame on that being done if she's in custody?
So Judge, the timeframe is pretty short, I'd say within 2 weeks. However, we probably can have her assessed the Monday after next. The problem is that with the Tacoma evals, if it's for TDRF, those are being pushed out several months because of the center schedule.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask for a MIC evaluation. Yes. And do you have access to your medications or no?
No.
All right, so that's,
Well, when I get out, yeah, I just go back to the doctor and prescribe.
All right, this is what I'll do then. I'll do the MIC evaluation out of custody. If you don't follow through with these evaluations, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And let probation know that she is to go to the Center for Healthcare Services upon release, or her doctor. And if she doesn't provide proof that she's done that, then a warrant's going to be issued. You understand? Because I want to make sure that you are healthy and you are safe and people around you are safe, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Probation. Is there anything else? Yes, that can be done out of custody as well. And we'll follow recommendations. Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, in this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know about it. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
But I want you to be sure, time when you're released, they're probably going to release you at about midnight. Time you release, the next day, you need to make sure that you go to the Center for Healthcare Services and make sure you have your medications. You
Right.
understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, okay? Thank you.
Just
Thank
a
you.
question real quick. on
Sure.
another matter. I just have a motion to withdraw. I took a new role and it's the only appointment left having your.
Oh, hey, oh, what are you going to be doing?
I'm working for a home tax show. That's a property tax company.
Look at you getting into property tax.
It's interesting.
Okay, I tell you what, let me look through this. When did you start?
I already started.
Oh, is this on our trial docket?
It is, Judge.
Is it? Well, I tell you what, let me do my lunch break. I will give you a call if you, I can call you at the office number,
Of course, which one is on there?
the 849.
Yes.
Okay, I will give you a call because I need to see where it is. All
I
right,
think we're June 5th, but
okay,
if you need me to like work on it, I will, Judge.
okay, all right, I'll give you a call.
Okay.